Good morning, everybody. My name is Angela Ferruzza. I am a statistician, and the statistician needs a guide on the roles of the national statistical systems and the official statistics in providing information on hazardous events and disasters to support disaster management and risk reduction effort. In 2015, it was established a task force on measuring hazardous events and disasters. We have some objectives: clarify the role of official statistics, identify practical steps how national statistical organization can support disaster management and risk reduction, identify main data needs and data sources, identify needs for harmonization of classification terms and definitions. It was a very interactive group with different national experts from Armenia, Italy, New Zealand, Republic of Moldova, Mexico, South Africa, and Turkey, and the participation of a lot of international and important organizations. One of the results of the work of the task forces was the production of the recommendations on the role of official statistics in measuring hazardous events and disasters that was adopted in June 2019. The recommendations clarify the role of a national statistical organization and national statistical system in providing information related to hazardous events and disasters, and identify practical steps to better support disaster risk management efforts in coordination with national agencies responsible for disaster risk management. And very important things include 11 national examples. The recommendations were structured considering 8 chapters. After the introduction, we had key terms and concepts, policy background, scope and measurement framework for statistics on hazardous events and disasters, the role of a national statistical system, key infrastructure, recommendations and implementation. And plus, we have the case studies of 11 countries like Armenia, Belarus, Brazil, France, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, Norway, Philippines, Turkey, and USA. And it was very important. Considering the role of national statistical system, we have to think about the fact that we have a real concrete role, and that it is very important in the case of hazardous events like pandemic, for example, to provide statistics for affected area, for example, and to communicate this. Of course, we have to distinguish the 3 phases, the point of the disaster impact, but also the period before the disaster impact and the period after the disaster impact. And in these three cases, it is very important to provide statistics and to communicate these statistics and to work on the reporting of these statistics. Considering the role, we have to distinguish between core roles and additional roles. The core roles represent in general the typical strength of the national statistical organization. The additional roles are roles that could be incorporated in the function of the national statistical organization. Among the core roles, we can include the provision of baseline data to produce statistics on exposure and impacts, support disaster risk management in producing and communicating information, setting and enforcing quality standards, developing statistics that are internationally comparable, ensuring multiple use of information, interoperability and transparency, communication and dissemination statistics to decision maker, coordination of information flows for SDGs, Sendai framework and other indicator frameworks. It is important to concentrate the attention on some indicators that can be produced with the help of all the other institutions, the national statistical system, to produce information that can be used for SDGs, for the Sendai framework, for the climate change indicators. Altogether, we can work in a very good way in this direction. And the additional roles can include assisting in assessment of direct and indirect impact. Try to organize collaborative seats for disaster attention, develop the development and implementation of methodology for risk assessment, and providing services for linking of information from various sources. And therefore, it is important to use the help from the recommendation to address issues related to gaps, timeliness, accessibility, interpretability, statistical office operation, methods, and standards. And to concentrate the attention on some important steps that the National Statistical Organization have to take. Identify a focal point, engage with the stakeholders to clarify data needs, define the scope of statistics relevant for national needs, assess available information, prioritize data gaps, prepare a development plan, assign tasks for National Statistical Organization, and manage and disseminate compiled data. The recommendations have been developed in close collaboration with the HESCAP expert group and help National Statistical System and Disaster Risk Management Agency to collaborate and to clarify their roles and responsibilities, and provide useful guidance for managing the COVID-19 disaster with official statistics. And this was very, very important, as all of us know, during these last 2 years. We had therefore a new mandate of the task force since 2019. One of the points of this new mandate was the organization of the expert forum in collaboration with the EIAG, in which all of us are involved. And also we are working on development of a set of core statistics and indicators, because it is important to try to concentrate for us, statisticians, the attention on some core statistics and indicators, and it is important to concentrate the attention on all the synergies among the different institutions in the national statistical system on the production of core statistics and indicators, and to support the statistical operationalization of terms, definition, and classification used in disaster risk management, to try to have the possibility to use these metadata as much as we can as statisticians, and then the implementation of practical guidelines. Again, we have to face in a concrete way, with a concrete approach on something that is very important, like disaster, hazards, pandemic, and so on. So the guidelines are very, very important. And then you can find the recommendations at the downloading them at the link that are present that is present in these last slides. And I really I'm really happy to have the opportunity to share with you the interest and the enthusiasm with which all the task forces worked together, and to thank all of the participants of the task forces, and to thank very much all of you for your attention. Thank you so much.